Hey guys, crude oil, Sunday, June 11th, 2023. This is my personal video trade journal. Helps me to hear my own thoughts and review stuff. Okay, so I'm sharing it just for entertainment. Looking at the 4 hour, man, a lot of complexity, a lot of going sideways, a lot of crisscrossing levels. If this is an A, B, then C could come up 77 as a minimum. Crude loves to extend and overreach, so I wouldn't be surprised if this does want to come back up higher. I wouldn't be surprised if it comes up even higher than this A equals C. But that's one idea. And the parameters, just keeping it really simple, since I don't have a very good edge right now, given all this overlap and moving in threes. I'll just stick to the parameters. So, first thing, if it comes up and gets above, call it 73.50, that's a pretty decent clue that we're not going to go lower directly and that we're going to come up into here. So, 73.50. And then obviously all of this resistance. I mean, if we can chew through that, and somewhere in here there should be a wave three. There should be something that looks like a wave three on a smaller degree that suggests, yeah, okay, so my shorts are going to come off early in the week. If this actually, even if it starts coming up above 71.80 or whatever this top is, that'll be the first clue. So just keeping it simple, parameters. And to the downside, the first parameter is get below 69, and then if it can get below another $2 move lower, below 67, that's I'm a very happy camper. If it can see these levels before coming up, that would suggest we're going directly lower. And look at this squeeze setup. It's leaning lower, but this tool is very noisy. This is a different squeeze tool than what I normally use. I won't get into that for the purposes of this video, but if this releases to the downside, it'll just support the idea. If this releases to the downside while we break these parameters, then that'll give me some confidence that we're going directly much lower. Although I don't have a lot of confidence because of the way this thing is consistently crisscrossing itself. So it's just a crapshoot. I happen to be short, net short, and I will take it off if this starts coming back up. That's the 4 hour. Looking at the daily, check this out. There is a daily squeeze, different squeeze tool. This one is a little more reliable than the other one. All of these technicals are bearish technically, but look at the MACD. It's coiling, RSI, it's lilting up. All of these are kind of leaning higher, but they're still technically bearish. Same with this net volume tool. So I'll be watching that early in the week. Not just those parameters, but I'll be watching this tool on the daily. And then jump out to the weekly squeeze. I talked about it actually each Sunday for the last 3 or 4 or 5 Sundays. That technically this weekly squeeze has released to the downside. The wild thing about the weekly is it's such a large time frame. Could this bounce up into this range and not destroy this setup? Yeah, it could. Yep. Now, I know, not very helpful, but it is helpful to know that all of the evidence suggests we are going to see one more low, even if this bounces. So my question is it just going to go lower directly, or is it going to give you a C wave that I was just showing you on the 4 hour? So, but all of these weekly technicals are bearish and continue to be bearish as they have for many weeks. So my question is this just going to prove itself and we're just going to lose it and get 1-2-1-2 to the downside, and soon we'll be in a wave 3 of some degree to the downside? You'll know. We'll all know if that happens this week. That's the weekly. So it's bearish, but you could get a bounce. And look at the monthly, the strat. I like looking at the strat method on the longer time frames just for parameters and for clues. I'm not really taking my trading clues off of a monthly or a weekly or even a daily chart, but I do look at these. And look at this. We are right back exactly in the middle of the May range. So we couldn't continue the traction. We couldn't get any traction in May to the downside. We have not gotten any traction to the upside yet in June. And we are literally right exactly at the halfway point of all of May's range. That supports the idea that we're just crisscrossing, chopping, and we are still not decided yet what is going on here. But the monthly technicals are bearish. Big deal. That's such a huge time frame. Takes forever for these to turn around. So it's bearish on the monthly, it's bearish on the weekly, it's bearish on the daily. So that just means if we do get a bounce, I'm still going to be bearish. And if I get out of my shorts, which I will, if this starts to come back up and gets through those parameters, meaning the top here, 71.80, whatever that is, and then 73.50. Those are my parameters. I will not be in shorts if that comes up. But, and this is more nano 89-minute chart, if this is a 1-2-1-2 setup to the downside, and it won't come back up above 71.80, whatever this is, 71.80, let's call it, and it'll just come directly lower. Here's a pivot area of the larger 1-2, and here's the smaller pivot area. So these are just parameters. I mean, it did, if this is a 1-2, the measurement, there's nothing wrong with it, but the larger context, this could be an A, B, and we're about to get a C wave, and this is actually a 1-2-1-2 to the up, or rather, this is a 1-2 to the upside. So this is A, B, and this could be a 1-2 to the upside. All right, so that's why these parameters are so perfectly clear. Even though I have no idea what's going to happen, the parameters are very clear. So I'm not going to get hurt. Even though I'm net short, I'm going to take it off if it starts coming back up. So, and if it starts to come down, what I'll probably do is peel off some of those shorts down here and then let the rest ride. I mean, these are just the projections. I'm not saying this happens, but this projects to much lower. If it doesn't come higher and break these parameters, this thing has a setup to project much lower. I know that's not what most of the analysts are looking for, and I'm not saying I'm looking for it either, but it's clearly here. But so is the AB needing a C wave, this being 1-2. So unfortunately, sorry, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm net short, and I won't be for long if this wants to come back up. All right, good luck.